Jonathan Mark, Fridays at 8, here on AM 1480 WLEA. Oh, and here we go once again. Thank you, Mr. Paul Harvey. Friday, always the best time of year, no matter when it occurs. And this week it occurs on April 26th, the last Friday in April. And I think if the weather had any decency, it would be spring. But if you check the weather for the western part of New York for the next couple of days, they're expecting snow west of here. Snow at the end of April. Well, it's happened in the past, so it's not the most unusual thing, but really. And as much as many of us would like to, it never pays to jump the gun on spring planting. Boy, it is so easy to do that. You have to wait it out just a little longer. You plant now and bad things might happen. Although, I've noticed a lot of people are mowing their lawns already, so that's good. And I hope to get to mow my lawn maybe this weekend, or I still haven't mowed it. The dandelions are out, so that's not a good sign. I definitely got to mow the lawn. Okay, you'll have to indulge me just a tad this morning because I've had somewhat of a sore throat all week. No, the doctor said it's not strep throat, just a bad sore throat. Although I'm not sure of the difference, but there it is. All right, I will soldier on. So if I hit the cough and clear your throat button a couple of times, it's no big deal. Oh, on the upside, the doctor did have some words of encouragement. He said, were I 85 years old, I'd be in great shape. So, as I said, I was very encouraged, in a manner of speaking. So, on we go. There was an incident that occurred last week in Hornell, and it should grab everybody's attention. Although this is a beautiful area, there's no area like it in the country. We are not immune to one problem facing the entire country: drug overdoses, deadly drug overdoses. In this case, heroin. Deadly heroin laced with deadly fentanyl. But a young man here in the city overdosed on heroin laced with fentanyl, and he was this close to dying. But for the quick response of the Hornell PD, and specifically the efforts of Hornell Officer J.R. Emo, who administered a drug called Narcan and administered CPR, which saved the young man's life. And, I just thought of that. Isn't it strange that there's a drug called Narcan for overdoses? I mean, there's a drug out there that was developed to counteract the effect of drug overdoses. I didn't even know that. But the young man who allegedly sold the drug faces a slew of charges, to put it mildly. Now, where do you start? I think Officer Emo should and probably will be publicly recognized for his efforts, his quick thinking, instinct, and training. And he saved a young man's life. And for that, we should all be grateful. And then there's the question of the drug. Those who sell it and those who use it. And I wonder what motivates a person to take dangerous drugs when they know those drugs could kill them. And what motivates a person to sell dangerous drugs when they know those drugs could kill a person? I don't understand it. I mean, I really don't understand it. It's a complex problem. And I don't think I'm really qualified to answer that. I don't know.
Can I jump in, Jonathan?
Sure.
Different police officers have said to me that this fentanyl in the heroin is a really dangerous situation because the closer how do I say it? The better the high, the closer you come to death.
Oh, wonderful.
So it's a really risky thing to do.
Oh, that's great. Anyway, yeah, it's the whole thing is very strange. But, you try to find a simple answer to a complex problem, and it's not going to work. Well, why is this going on? Well, obviously it's this, or obviously it's that. It's not. It's a number of factors. This is a complex culture we have here. But I do know the problem is massive. As a matter of fact, I did just a little bit of research here. According to the government website drugabuse.gov, in 2017, Get this, 70,200 people died as a result of drug overdoses. In 1 year, 70,200 people in our country died of drug overdoses. And that's more than we lost over the entire Vietnam War, which lasted for years. And that was in 1 year, more than 70,000. And according to the CDC, in 2017, 15,000 people died as a result of heroin overdoses alone. That is frightening. You do the math on that, and total drug overdose deaths in 2017, 192 a day. And for heroin, it was 41 a day are dying of drug overdoses. That is really frightening. And apparently, sad but true, that problem is coming here. Now, last week on Brian O'Neill's Newsmaker show, he had at his guests Hornell Police Chief Ted Murray and Sergeant Investigator Tom Ianni. They were on the Newsmaker show. So what they told us is help is available.
The last time that Steuben County District Attorney Brooks Baker was on, he talked about the Good Samaritan laws, and that reminded me how the Hornell Police Department, I guess you could say, has that Good Samaritan policy, where if you have someone, if you're talking to someone in the public and you say, if you have a member of your family who's having heroin problems or whatever the drug may be, if you stop in and talk to us, we're not necessarily going to initiate an arrest, but we could get somebody to a treatment program.
Yes, that's always been our policy, is to try to help individuals that are in need from a drug addiction. And we will try to get them to the hospital and get them some help to deal with their problems.
And I've said over the years, and it's still a policy of our department, if anyone needs to get for drug help, if they come to the police department and say, hey, I want help, I've got a commitment from the local Loyola Foundation that they will get anybody in that when I make that phone call. So if there is somebody out there that needs help, wants to get off from the substance, come to the police department. No, you won't be arrested. You'll be brought into a treatment, and that's the way we handle that.
Okay, and that was Hornell Police Chief Ted Murray and Sergeant Investigator Tom Ianni. So there is help out there. And, as I said, this is such a beautiful area. Why would you want to do that? I mean, why would you want to take that? And why would you want to sell it? So if there, help is available, and if there is an upside to last week's incident, I think let's hope that it turns around the lives of the man who overdosed and the young man who allegedly sold it to him. You never know, people can change. I do think that people can change, and sometimes it takes an event like that to just whip you right around. So you don't know, some good might possibly come out of it. And once again, super duper kudos to Officer Emo, J.R. Emo. And I hope he receives some kind of recognition soon. Okay, let's see here. Oh, is anybody totally sick and tired of hearing about that stupid Mueller investigation? I mean, in the end, there was no collusion. No one has proved anything. No obstruction of justice. And they keep at it, and they keep at it, and they keep at it. Although the anti-Trumpers just say, oh yeah, there's something there. We'll find something. Now, true, President Trump did make many, many public comments about he was sick and tired of this never-ending charade. After a while, it took on like an Orwellian tone. It just kept going on and on and on, month after month and year after year. But to complain about people doing it is not obstructing justice. I'm not a lawyer, but it doesn't seem to be. Hey, I'm really tired. I'm really sick and tired of this stuff. So that's not obstruction. But if you want to talk real obstruction, I mean real heavy-duty obstruction, how about obstructing the President of the United States from carrying out his duties of running the country? Now there's obstruction. He couldn't turn one way or the other without somebody investigating something somewhere. Somehow, we'll find something. We'll keep at it. We'll keep at it. Now, I've heard a rumor. Now, maybe it's true and maybe not. After all, it is a rumor. But here's what I've heard. The next step the anti-Trumpers are considering, get this, is opening an investigation into Trump's sock drawer. That's right, his sock drawer. You never know what you'll find. Special counsel, maybe another year of investigating his sock drawer. Who knows what's going to turn up in somebody's sock drawer? And after that, there's going to be a special investigation, according to my sources, into his kitchen garbage. Now, who knows there? Maybe they'll find an empty bottle of Russian borscht. Aha! Collusion! Now we'll get him. I don't know. It just goes on and on and on. And every day, and you just, after a while, Mueller. Okay, investigation. As I said, there is obstruction. There is a lot of obstruction going on. Let me see. What else here? Oh! This is kind of interesting. Monday was April 22nd. Let me see, where's the calendar? There, April 22nd. Monday was the, I believe, 49th Earth Day, which is a pretty important thing. I think, we are, let's say, a steward of the earth. We have to take care of the thing. We can't dump chemicals into water. We can't throw garbage all over the place. Can't cut down forests indiscriminately. It's very important to take care of the earth. But a little anecdote about the very first Earth Day. Now, in 1970, when the first one was, I lived in San Jose, in California, in the Bay Area. And the students at San Jose State were going to make a gesture. And we all know that gestures are really, really important. It doesn't make any difference if they're logical or they're rational or they really mean anything, but it's a gesture, right? So they made a gesture at the first Earth Day. And what they did, I'm not making this up, what they did was they buried a vehicle to show their utter contempt for cars, oil, whatever. We're going to show our total contempt for the car. So they buried a vehicle on the campus of San Jose State. And guess what vehicle they chose to bury to show their contempt for the inefficient, horrible, gas-guzzling automobile? Guess what vehicle? It was a Volkswagen Beetle. Now, I'm not a car expert, but I can say this, that the Volkswagen Beetle was probably one of the most efficient, well-designed vehicles ever. It ran forever on a tank of gas. It never used any oil. I had a 61 Beetle for 5 years, I think. And it never used any oil, never broke down, got a gazillion miles on a gallon. You could drive it forever. Nothing bad ever happened. It was a wonderful, wonderful vehicle. But that's the vehicle that they chose to bury on the campus of San Jose State. And then you think, I wonder, did they drain the gasoline out of it first? Did they drain the oil? That I don't know. But that's the vehicle they chose as a gesture to show their contempt for the inefficient automobile. A Volkswagen Beetle. Unbelievable. Oh, speaking of California and vehicles, do you know, I read this morning, gas is now $4 plus a gallon in California? I'm not quite sure what it is here. Two something or other. Near $3. Anyway, it's $4 a gallon and up in California. And in California, wherever you're going, it's 114 miles away. Nothing is close by. Everything is far away in California. Remember the song, the late 70s or early 80s, Nobody Walks in L.A., or something like that? Nobody walks in L.A. Anyway, so nobody walks, everybody drives. And everything is far, far away. So at $4 a gallon, it could get real expensive real quick. Do we have a break coming up here, Brian?
We have Gary Best on the line.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Should we go to him right now?
Sure, why not?
Let's pull him up. Hello, Gary.
Hello, Gary.
Hello there, folks. How you doing this morning, Jonathan?
Good. A little damp. Also, it might be a little snow west of here, I heard.
Yeah, there may be some, although not going to be much, but we're looking at some chilly weather moving back in behind this system that's coming through right now, giving us the clouds, the breezy conditions, and periods of rain. Temperatures will be probably up in the 60s, though, during this afternoon, but then it will turn colder tonight with some scattered showers, upper 30s overnight. Some of the highest elevations may see a little bit of wet snow.
Yikes.
And then tomorrow, it's windy with morning showers, giving way to afternoon sun, about 45 to 50. Then we could see late-night rain or snow showers Saturday night, ending Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon, some leftover clouds, with temperatures then, Jonathan, in the mid-40s.
Oh, my. You know, I was advising our listeners just at the beginning of the show, don't plant too early. Hold your fire until sometime in May.
That's right, yeah, you don't want to do it too early. We still got some chilly weather coming up the next few days, but eventually it's going to be turning warm and humid. We're back into summer weather, but that's not going to happen for at least the next couple of weeks.
Okay, thanks, I guess, Gary. See ya.
All righty.
Okay, bye.
From the Fox Business Network, Renault is planning to propose a merger with Nissan. The two companies already are partners. The Wall Street Journal says the plan would combine the two car makers under a new holding company. Shareholders would each receive a 50% stake in the new business. Renault's new chairman, Jean-Dominique Senard, believes the merger would allow management to focus on Nissan's business recovery. Amazon's winter quarter was its best ever. Its profit was more than $3.5 billion. However, its strongest increase came from Amazon's cloud services and advertising. Amazon also is planning to speed up delivery for Prime subscribers to 1 day. Amazon did not reveal when that new service will debut. The Dow dropped 134 points yesterday. The Nasdaq was up 16, the S&P down a point. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or investment account? Then I have one word of advice. Stop! Experts warn of a stock market crash any day now, and you could lose 50% or more of your hard-earned savings again. But you don't have to lose a penny. There's a better, safer way to save for retirement, and you can learn about it in a free report. This method continues to grow your money even when the market tumbles. To get this free report, go to bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com. bankonyourself.com.
And back we are. You know, there was a documentary shown last night at Alpha University about, remember the Bump the Dump? The Bump the Dump episode, the Bump the Dump chapter in Western New York. It was, I think, well, this is the 30th anniversary, I guess. It was in 1989. So that's why they showed the film, a documentary. And as a matter of fact, my wife, dear Patty, was part of the Bump the Dump movement. And we have two historical artifacts in our garage. We have two posters from the Bump the Dump campaign. Isn't that cool? Anyway, there was this documentary is now on YouTube, and if Brian will play just a little bit of a clip of it here, we can hear just a little bit of that.
I look at this basically as a moral issue with me. I look at this as a moral decision. I have a real problem with religion. I've been fighting with my beliefs for so many years, it's ridiculous. Finally, I decided I must be agnostic. Because every time I think about doing anything, I always have to look at it two ways. I have to say, if there is a God, if God does exist, what does God expect of me? And when I think about that, I think I owe something to my God. I think I owe him something concerning the site that I live on, the environment I live on, and the people I live around. I must owe these people something. I must owe myself something, and I must owe the earth something.
Somebody's pretty agitated there. But on the other hand, there was a good reason for it. Because maybe you lived here at that time, maybe you didn't, I have no idea. But the idea was that New York State thought it would be perfectly okay to dump their radioactive waste in Allegheny County. Allegheny County had a slightly different opinion. And in the end, Allegheny County won. So that's what the whole Bump the Dump movement was about. They said, yeah, well, nobody really cares about Allegheny County. We'll just dump our radioactive waste there and nobody will care. Big surprise. Big surprise.
Before we went on the air this morning, I talked to Gary Ostrower about it, and He said, never have so many people in Allegheny County from so many different backgrounds come together for a single cause. He said it was a good example of democracy in action. At the time, summer of '89, Dr. Gary Osterauer was a village board member and a liaison to the state about the whole bump to dump issue.
Oh, really? Very good. And then after that, he became mayor of Alfred.
Yes.
Right, yes. So, yeah, it's a long time ago, 30 years ago, but it's something to keep in mind even now. You have to stand up for yourself. And that's what Allegheny County did. And way to go. Okay, what else have we here? Actually, what I don't have a lot of is time. I just thought, oh, by the way, speaking of time, that's right. Monday, Fridays at 8 becomes mornings at 8. So the Friday show is going to be going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 8 o'clock. So that's the beginning of a whole new thing, and I am so excited, I can't tell you. It's going to be really, really cool. So instead of waiting until things happen and then days and days and days later, finally mentioning, I can mention it as it happens on that day. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Have you heard about this? This was really bizarre. There's a lady, Jacqueline Ades, A-D-E-S, from somewhere in Arizona, Paradise Valley. I believe that's right by Phoenix. It's in Maricopa County, so that's Phoenix. She is accused, talk about, bad dates or online dating that go bad. This thing went so far south, you can't even see it. That's how bad this was. She's accused of sending a man more than 159,000 text messages. 159,000 text messages in 10 months, and breaking into his home and threatening I can't even, I have a number of these texts in front of me, but I can't even read one because they're all so totally disgusting. I mean, she threatened him in all kinds of ways. Apparently this thing went pretty bad, okay? It went really, really bad, and she was angry, and the curious part of this, she's been in jail since when? I think last year sometime, since May of 2018. She's been in the Maricopa County Jail since May of 2018. So they had a single date, one little date with this guy, and bang! I mean, it just went on and on month after month with all, I mean, how would you find time to send 159,000 text messages? I mean, really, how would you even find a time to do that? You spend all day texting. It's weird. And she says, this is way over the top. She says, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't see why I'm in jail. I don't see anything wrong with doing this stuff. I mean, she threatened this guy in ways that, I mean, you could only on Twilight Zone could you possibly think of ways to threaten a person. This is so strange. As I said, I'm trying to find even one I could read, and I can't. I mean, they're all thoroughly, totally disgusting. But what's really strange is that she sees nothing wrong with it. She says, oh, wow. Oh, what? Oh, let me, what should I? Yeah, she did a whole bunch of really strange stuff, and she sees nothing wrong with it. She's, matter of fact, she is confident that she will not get convicted of anything. Well, I think I'll follow this story. That's kind of interesting. But anyway, there we go. Okay, and that appears to be the end of this show, but it's not the end of the show because it starts again Monday at 8:05, and I am so excited and proud to be here because I really do love our listeners. Without you there's no us here. So keep that in mind. And I'll see you Monday at 8:05. Bye.